Hello, hello, hello. Is there an echo, echo, echo? Or is it Gecko, Gecko, Gecko? It's Gecko. My name is Harry Baker. This is Something Borrowed, everyone's favourite poetry performance-based podcast. This time, he's not just a poet, he's a lyrical, wizardy lizard, singer-songwriter, superstar. It's Gecko. He's fantastic, you're fantastic. I hope you love it, because I love you. Goodbye.
I'm going to start with something old. And my something old is based on the fact that it was my birthday this month. I was about to say it was my birthday this year. It's my birthday every year, but this month every year. And I turned 33, and I wrote a poem when I turned 22. And in it, I sort of reference in 11 years' time where I think I'll be, because I think as a mathematician, palindromes feel more exciting than decades to me. And so I vowed that I would write a poem when I was 33 as well, which I've not done yet, but I have got a whole year to get around to. But this is when I was 22, and it goes like this. I've spent most of my life trying to fit in. Now I'm realizing maybe I was made to stand out. That's not a bad thing. We're all made different, bits of DNA different. But from a young age, we're not encouraged to stay different. We're chucked in school uniforms, made to fill out uniforms in ways that placate and make donkeys from unicorns. They say, don't be too unique or no one will like you. Well, this is for the ugly ducklings and reluctant to be riotoos. Only you are capable of knowing what you might do. Beauties in the context of those it is applied to, in my view, swan sound like cack and pigeon speak in haikus. So for the second time in my life, I'm palindromic. The path I've chosen isn't renowned for having logic, but every day I wake up, best believe I'm glad I'm on it. 11 years ago, I couldn't imagine college, so 11 years times I think I haven't acknowledged. I have no desire to be sat in an office. That was as far as I got with a plan, if I'm honest. Right now, I'm focusing on making the intangible solid. I fed my passion to the extent I get stamina from it. I'm 20-something. My friends are getting married or on it. I've just found someone who will hold my hand if I want it. We're living in a time where the banks are the robbers and we've all lost interest at the hands of their profits, but your worth isn't determined by the cash in your wallet, and if they tell you it isn't, that is absolute nonsense. For me, success ain't having a lot of inanimate objects. That's just a turd that we've happened to polish. For me, success is being happy being you. So find a way of being you and being happy. Not the you feel you need to be, the you know you are. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You are incredible. My dad taught me about the gift of not fitting in. So in a way, these things I say will embody a bit of him. It's 2 2s now. Knock, knock, who's there? More boo-hoos now. Less telly, less tubby, more new news now. I've been into weddings of those I thought were too young to get married, and funerals of those I believe too young to die. Some things never change. Most seem to. The final show isn't the same as the read-through. We try control X, Y, Z to cut, undo, and redo, but nobody can do we like we do. Scene 2. I've hit the age that those that I looked up to were when I looked up to them, thinking that it's up to them. I guess it's up to us now. Some things I've just about sussed out. I've still got enough doubt, yet somehow's are feeling less impossible. My mum taught me it might take a while for folk to see your hidden words, so in a way, these things I say will embody a bit of her. I still adventure lots. I still enjoy getting lost. I still hope computer games the only way I'll ever get a boss. Still try maintain a face more jelly tots than lemon drops to rather learn from my mistakes than be a clever clogs that's never lost. Still taking the time just perfecting me, and I've still got love for the streets. It's the DRE. AM to PM. One in a Christina million. I'll take broken beautiful over pristine and brilliant like I'm 15, a kid again. Yet to see things for this chapel, look up, my sistine ain't finished yet. My older bro and new assist taught me committing to the bitter end. So in a way, these things I say will embody a bit of them. Well, I don't mind a masterpiece. I'd rather masterpiece of mind. At least alive anesthetize that feeling of failure. I am no longer an awkward teenager. I am still awkward. I'm just not a teenager these days. I know no matter how much natural talent I happen to have, I am too old to train to be a Jedi. And as the days pass across and head by, it is less and less likely I'll get scouted to play for Chelsea. We'll see. The world is not perfectly round. There's enough corners for us all to find a niche to pour affections, a niche to pour reflections that help us see different, because things can be different if we believe in the people who believe have been the reason for everything I do. So in a way, these things I say will embody a bit of you. Shout out my fam. Luke, Chris, Dave and Sam, John Birch, you know who, and Andrew Stans. Because the future's unknown. aka fun zone. But I've done known, you done know I'm ready for the next step. Not quite sure what to expect, but those have been the best yet. So on your marks, get set. Thank you. So what I can summarize is that age 22, I just was really scared of having to get a job. And I think young me would be proud of old me that I still don't have a real job. And we can only hope that continues for the next 11 years. However, so let's say for the next 11 minutes, for the next 11 lots of 5 minutes, aka almost an hour, we are going to be here together, and I'm so excited about it. Could you please make all the noise in the world? We're going to welcome to the stage one of my favorite people, one of my favorite artists. He's played at my wedding. I've played at his wedding. That's the only guess for which both of those things are true so far. Well, no, I'm not planning on getting married again. So all time ever, the only time that is true. Could we give it up? Welcome to the stage, fantastic Gecko.
Okay, so this is an old song, but in the first half of it, I'm going to be young, but it's still old, don't panic. Also, in the second half, I am old, so that's really on brand. I'm 7 years old, I'm running through a field. I'm a city boy, but I like how it feels. I'm not gonna stop, I'm alive and I'm free. I'm just like a bird, unless mum says it's tea. So I took off my shoes, took off my socks. I'm running bare feet, I'm hopscotching rocks. But look out for stingers, they'll hurt your bare knees. Then you have to stop and find a dock leaf, which can take ages. And into the woods, and surrounded by trees, something appears I've never seen. It's big and it's golden, an extraordinary bird. It's one of a kind, I've discovered the first. It's a bit like a parrot, we don't have those here. But as soon as I saw it, it just disappeared. I could never forget, such a wonderful sight. Turned myself around and ran back inside. Call the local museum, in front of the paper. Do I need an agent? I'll worry about that later. Make it on news round, be the best day I've had. The talk of the playground, first I'll tell Dad. He said I don't mean to be unpleasant, but that bird's not a discovery, it's a pheasant. But I'd be soaring if I just saw him again. Yeah, I'd be soaring if I just saw him again. And now I'm just old, or at least that's what they say. Sit in this chair, I'm too tired to play. And they call this a home, but I know it's not mine. I don't do much running, I've run out of time. But once in a week, these girls come and sing. It breaks up the day and helps me to think. I drift off to the notes, I don't catch all the words. In my head I run and remember that bird. And I'd be soaring if I just saw him again. Yeah, I'd be soaring if I just saw him again. And then, as if by magic, what seemed like 1,000 birds burst through the windows into the communal lounge. The room is awash with gasps and bright, beautiful colour. By night, each game bird had been individually saved from a local shooting field. It was highly illegal. A cunning plan compiled by one ingenuitive grandchild. And now I'm soaring, soaring again. A cacophony of squawks, and everybody gets up to dance. Now I'm soaring, soaring again. One particularly fine specimen is currently perched on Agnes's head. Soaring, soaring again. A pair of females attempt to eat a series of Scrabble letters that spell out inedible. It's a triple word score. Soaring, soaring again. Jeff, the care worker, he's not seen anything like it in these parts. Not since the Strictly final. Now I'm soaring, soaring again.
Give it up for Gecko. So something old, our friendship.
Yes.
So I realised around about the time I wrote that poem, was going up to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and it was the first time we did a Harry and Chris show, and we shared a venue with Gecko. And I think the Edinburgh Fringe is amazing, but it's also like a bit of an onslaught. So I think to have gone through that with anyone then sort of forms a unbreakable bond for the rest of your lives.
Definitely.
But my question for you, you were doing a show up there. What is the difference between a show and a gig? Philosophically.
Whoa. A show has to have one costume change.
Yeah.
I think that's the rule. In that one there was one song that I was pretending to be an insect at the end of the world, and I had 3 sets of sunglasses that I put on my head, so it looked like I had 6 eyes, and then I had like a sort of rain. What are they called? Like a khaki.
Yeah, anorak.
Anorak.
Yeah,
anorak. And so that really took it into the sort of show level, I thought, and a lot of the audiences agreed.
Yeah.
The ones that were on the side of the curtain that we were doing the gigs. Oh no, I said gig. Yeah, our venue was in a pub, and there literally wasn't like a door to our space. There was just a curtain, and as the pub got more busy, it'd be bad. Basically, the opposite thing of what you think you'd want. You'd think you'd want, I hope some people come to this pub. We really hope they didn't, because they would be so loud on the other side of we wanted some people.
Yeah, on our side.
On our side, that was the important bit.
I remember at one point the bar staff just sort of started handing food to me and Chris in between songs to then like pass to people who had ordered it. So we ended up like doing shifts at the bar. It was a good time. But that was in the spoken word section of the program.
Yeah. You're really pulling me up on a lot of stuff.
Hey, I've done my research. But me and Chris did a show, and because I'd always done poetry shows, we put it in the spoken word section, and we described it as a sort of jazz poetry fusion. And because of that, everyone was surprised that they enjoyed it. And from then we then went in the comedy section, and everyone was surprised at how much sort of poetry jazz fusion there was involved. But I think I've always loved seeing you perform in different spaces. And we were talking beforehand, you've done a lot of So Far Sounds gigs where people have no idea what to expect and you just go up and play, but also seeing you at poetry nights. And I guess, how is it performing for a music gig versus a poetry show?
Yeah, well, I kind of, like, not long before when we first did our Edinburgh Fringe, which is like 2016, I'd kind of done loads of gigs with bands and stuff. And then maybe a year before that I started, I'd always kind of written really wordy songs. And then it's sort of, maybe a year before we went to the Fringe, I like did my first show at a poetry show, and I was just like shocked because people like listened to what the words were. And I thought that was really exciting. I guess, what I've kind of tried to then take from that is to put that vibe into some like more music gig settings. I think people were surprised when they're like, oh, actually, it was quite good when I stopped talking. Yeah. And the longer I've been doing it, the more comfortable I am with like telling people to be quiet, and I quite enjoy it. It's harder when like no one wants to. That's a tough gig. But if there's just a couple of people who are talking and everyone else is up for it, then why not just? Sometimes they don't even realise like it's not they're just doing what they do, and then suddenly you can go, oh, like this thing that I'm saying, like I practiced it, and you could hear it. You could hear it. This is literally where it's going to happen. This place.
Speaking of weddings, I did one summer where I performed at a few different weddings in a row, but these are people who I didn't know. And all of them were like weird in slightly different ways. And after that, I vowed to never sort of perform at a stranger's wedding again.
It's a tough gig because potentially the bride and groom or bride and bride or groom and groom, whoever has picked you because they like you, but then not necessarily anyone else knows who you are.
Yeah.
And so
you
I've
say
done those.
that.
Yeah.
You would think
they didn't
that
even like you.
As the minimum. I did one.
Was it a vengeance mission?
So there's two. One that I thought of when you said that was a guy booked me because he'd seen me, but he wanted me to do like a 45-minute poetry set during dinner. And so everyone was just like chatting and having, and as you say, like there's only so many ways and times you can try and shush people because they were having a good time. And also like it's not about me. So I like doing as much as I can. And then afterwards the guy was like, oh, that was great. It was just such a shame that no one listened to you. Which I think would have been easier if it wasn't dinner. But the other one was a guy had booked me because he'd seen me at Festival and he wanted it to be a surprise for his wife. Like on the day, he said, like, we saw you and we really loved you and I just think it's going to be amazing. But because it's a surprise, can you just like wait outside until it's sort of your time? So I arrived and I was just like it was a nice day. I was sat on the floor in the car park and like he got his best man to look after me. So he was just like bringing me out like little sort of small plates of food. Nice. And then when it came to it, I went on, but I was on like just after the speeches, which is like a better slot than during dinner.
It's headline,
exactly. They were support act. Yeah. But again, the speeches, that's the best gig you're ever going to get. Everyone's there for you, like absolutely smashed it. Everyone's in tears. And then he was like, and now as a surprise, me and my best man saw this guy at Festival. And I just really thought that you would like him. So the bride had never seen me before in her life, which begs the question, why was I eating sandwiches in a car park? Because she couldn't have recognised me anyway.
That's true.
And so as part of their like wedding, there was just like mysterious stuff where she had no idea what was going on. And he just like had a little throwback with his best mate about a time they'd gone to a festival. And also it was like top table and then everyone was there, but the the bride and groom were then behind me. So I just had to choose whether to like perform to her, who's never seen me before, or performed. And I was sort of like going between the two.
That's tough. Yeah.
And so never did another wedding again until yours. And it redeemed it all for me. So thank you. But it's,
Sorry about where we put you in the car park. That was weird.
No, it's just your best man loved it, didn't he? So it was all good.
He did.
I'm so excited to talk about something new because you got a new album out. But before you do something new, can I do something new?
Definitely.
My new news. Is news always new? No, old news. My current news is that I've got a book coming out next year, and it's the first time that a book's been sort of available for people to order before it's finished. Normally I have enough poems for a book, message my publisher, and then we just like get it out there. Whereas this is sort of a lot more sort of planned in advance. And it is 100 poems from the first 100 days of my son's life. And so I'm sort of going back through and trying to pull out some of the different things. And this is from day 29, where I think we were very lucky that when our son was born, lots of friends sort of made us meals and brought food around so we didn't have to worry about it. But this is sort of almost a month in, feeling like maybe we can start to look out for ourselves a little bit. And it goes like this. To give ourselves a break from defrosted bolognese, I say I've regained enough headspace to make something from the fridge. On inspection, we've not had enough headspace to stock the fridge, but can at least make a dent in the 3 open jars of mango chutney. I take you to the shops for a single pack of poppadoms, and we have everything we need for a dinner of champions. We place you sleeping on our bed, but need to keep you within sight, so we set up on the landing with our haul. 2 plates, 8 poppadoms, 3 jars of chutney, wondering how many scoops it would take to count as one of your 5 a day. We both flinch as we open the packet, but you do not stir. We break this bread in Holy Communion at our impromptu silent mass. This is my sleep cycle, broken for you. I soften mine on my tongue like a skip. Your mum coats hers in a layer of mango-based soundproofing. Each tentative bite a thrill, knowing it could be our last. On the axes of noise to nutrition, we're a long way from a banana. We proceed to eat an entire pack of poppadoms as quietly as possible, and obviously this is not a normal thing to do. But it's the closest we have come to sharing a meal as a 2 for a month. And it might just be the closest I have ever felt to your mum. Sat together on our landing, poppadoms in hand, savouring the ridiculousness of it all. So the obvious question is, have you got any poppadom-related stories to share with us?
That's so weird that you say that. That's so weird. I was actually in India a couple of months ago on holiday, and when I was there, I was kind of like pretty into Indian food, like South Indian food. Had like ordered loads of stuff like off menu. I thought it was pretty cool, but there was like on this menu there was like this thing at the bottom. I didn't really know what it was, and it was called papad. And there were a few different options of papad, and I was like, I just need to learn, like find out what this is. And I just asked the guy, and he was like kind of explaining it, and I didn't really totally understand, but I was like, yeah, we'll get a few of those. They sound great. It was a papadom.
Good poppadom-related story.
Yeah.
I once went to Italy and ordered a pizza with senza mozzarella on it because I really like pizza and mozzarella. And then I found out senza is Italian for without, and just ordered some bread. So we've all been there. And by there, I mean India or Italy. Countries beginning with I. Iceland?
Yeah.
Oh, how many can we do? Ireland.
Indiana. That's not
Indiana. Nah.
Leave it there.
Leave it there. Big four. Big four. Are you up for playing something new?
Yeah. For this one, basically, on my I've done 3 albums, and on each album there's 1 love song, and then the rest are kind of animals, things like that. But so this is my love song of the latest album, and my partner Mo was like, "Can't you write like an upbeat one?" So this is my upbeat love song. But the recording, I got a guy called Phil Veacock, who's Jules Holland's band leader, to play saxophone. And so I just get really upset if I can't hear the horn line. So I've brought some kazoos, and I need 3 volunteers to be my horn section.
We've got one at the
Can
back.
you come?
Come on.
Perfect.
This is so good.
So if you don't know how to use a kazoo, it's that side, and you hum into it. Basically, you don't blow, you hum. We need one more. We know. Basically, the part goes. So I sing, it's you that I find. So I sing, it's you that I find, and then you go da ba da ba da. Nice. Hum. Hum. It's hard to do when you're laughing. I found that out as well. Okay, it's too much pressure. I'll do it one more time. So it's you that I find. Da ba da ba da. Nice. What are you doing? Hum. There you go.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do it one more time. It's you that I find. Da ba da ba da. Yeah, we'll do. Okay. I'm on a mission today. Stormy clouds are parting, guess we wish them away. Coffee's nearly ready and the kitchen's my stage. You chapter has elapsed, I guess you lifted the page. It isn't the same, now I'm pulling out all the stops. Horizon's getting lighter, dancing around in my stocks. These nights are looking lighter, I was found in the rocks. You lifted me out of there, now I'm on top. Ground was quite sharp with the excavation. Thought I'd never see it. These clouds are really got in my way. But somehow you always know just what to say. I got my remedy. When you're standing next to me, it's you that I find. Whenever I get lost in it all, you help me gain a little perspective. Pull down those invisible walls. Yeah, it's you that I find. Get to see that every day. Pretty glad that I met you. Nothing's gonna get in our general vicinity. Now I'm moving heaven and earth. Letters on the fridge so we remember the words. I was anchored down but now I'm friends with the birds. Plot needs someone lost before the ending, cause you ended the search. Time is of the essence it seems. Wait until the cows come home, I swap them for beans. Get caught up in the story, you just unlock the scene. And lifted me out of there, off in a dream. Like a washing machine with a brand new cycle. Thought I'd never see it. These clouds are really got in my way. Somehow you always know just what to say. I got my remedy. When you're standing next to me, it's you that I find. Whenever I get lost in it all, you help me gain a little perspective. Pull down those invisible walls. Yeah, it's you that I find. Get to say that every day. Pretty glad that I met you. Nothing's gonna get in our general vicinity. Like the light switch, I was bumping into things before you showed me the glow. You're my Duolingo. So we got a streak and I don't ever wanna let it go. When the world is cold, you control the radiator from your phone and give me a hold. That way I know I'm not alone. It's you that I find. Whenever I get lost in it all, you help me gain a little perspective. Pull down those invisible walls. Yeah, it's you that I find. Get to see that every day. Pretty glad that I met you. Nothing's gonna get in on, nothing's gonna get in on, nothing's gonna get in. Big note at the end for you guys. Nothing's gonna get in our general vicinity. Yeah. You can keep the kazoos. That's a gift. So you actually also you transposed it. There was a key change at the end, and you knew what to do. Thought it best I didn't talk about that before.
Yeah,
the key change.
Put them off. Incredible work. Something new. New album. There's many things to be excited about, but one is what the album is called and what is on it.
It's called The Big Picture, and it is a big picture.
Come on. For my new book, it's the first time that everything's been on the same theme. My previous books have been sort of writing one poem at a time.
Yeah.
And then once I've got enough, sort of realizing there are kind of threads throughout. For you doing an album, is it a mix of the two? Do you have a kind of big vision, or is it just when you've got enough songs, you figure out what order to put them in?
It's more to do with like the way it's recorded, I think. It's kind of like, so this album, I worked with this guy called Shooter Shinoda, who's like incredible engineer, like very sort of uses loads of old, amazing analog gear. It's just got incredible ears, like can make stuff sound like super pristine, but then is also kind of not precious about how things sound. Yeah. And his kind of, what was really nice was he's an amazing guy who works with like Hot Chip and Ghost Poet and people like that, some incredible people. But he got in touch with me and had heard some of my stuff, and I just went to the studio in Hackney Road Studios and just played him some demos. And I kind of, during COVID, had sort of got back into making stuff at home more. Like I did that when I was like a teenager and then hadn't really done it until then again. And I just played him a bunch of stuff, and he just gave me quite a lot of confidence in it. And what was really nice is that some of the songs, stuff just stayed from demos, and like it meant I could just kind of lean into this sort of scrapbook kind of style that I really like. So like there's loads of really fun like little voice notes and samples and stuff. Like I've sampled my niece loads, turned her into a keyboard, which was sick. My granddad's voice is on there. Like it's just, there's just loads of, I'd kind of imagined that, but there's never the time when you're in a studio that's like on the clock to just kind of get all of those stuff down. So it was nice to have the hybrid of doing, like leaning into that, but then having like an incredible proper producer person to like, this is how we're going to record the piano or like strings and things like that. I just wouldn't know how to do. Yeah.
And from it starting out, obviously in your head, recording it at home, to holding this finished product, do you have like a favorite part of that process? There
was a couple of days where it just felt like this is like just an absolute dream. Like having Phil Vicott play those sax lines, like just, and I kind of, I just got really obsessed with like classic like soul horn lines and stuff, and like why they're so good. And kind of in my head I kind of thought like, oh, there must be like lots of like intricate harmony and stuff, and that makes it really good. But most of the time it's just like one line in unison. Sometimes I'll play it like an octave apart or something, but it's like it's just treated like a vocal basically, and it's having the space for it. So like what you'll have seen when my horn section tonight, what they did, they just really lent into the space that was there for them, and they just saw it and they said, we're not going out of that space, we're going to own that space. And that's why I get them along. Yeah.
Every gig,
yeah. So that day, and then also having strings like cello and violin, viola, like hearing that in the studio is just like, nothing like that.
Amazing. For me, when I write my poems, it's mostly with an aim to then share them in person with people. Historically, that's what it's been. And what I'm finding with these new poems is some of them I'm writing where the end goal is them existing on the page, and that's what they're kind of there for, and that's new and that's different for me. And again, thinking as a whole collection. But for you, when you're writing a song, are you hearing all of these different parts, or is that once you're in the studio thinking, this is what I want it to be for this, and then live is a different thing, and I'll think about that when it happens, or do they overlap? Obviously, you have your horn line for the live performances, so that's a way of bringing it together.
I think it depends. Like sometimes, like quite a lot of songs I write just on the guitar, and it is a thing already on the guitar. But this album, I did more writing on the piano, and then not necessarily even being a piano, because it's it's MIDI, so it can be anything. So it's kind of I like it because it's because I'm less used to it. It takes me to new places, and then also just the way that a piano is laid out. It's really cool in terms that you can find interesting sounds by just like moving where the bass note is and stuff like that. It's just like it's a little bit harder to do that on a guitar because just the way it's laid out.
Yeah.
What I like some of my favorite artists, like I love the band Eels, and like every time I've seen Eels play, it's like a different band. Like it's different, literally. Like probably some of them are the same, like in the backing band, but I just mean like the way they do it is always different. So it's like one time it might be like we're gonna do it sort of 60s horn style, like Motown vibes or something, and then another time it'll be like with a string quartet. And it's like very chill, and it's like I get bored easily, so like it's kind of I don't like thinking about it in a way like, oh, it needs to be like this, and then when I play live it needs to be like this. I like that it can be different.
Yeah. The other something new I wanted to ask you about, and maybe it's not new anymore, but TikTok.
Yeah.
You're the reason I got TikTok because you seem to be having fun on there. And I think with music and art and performance and then social media and promotion, I think for a lot of people it feels like maybe almost like a necessary evil, or like a thing that you have to do, when really you just want to like be a creative genius and be appreciated for it.
Sure.
But I felt like seeing you on there, you took it as its own creative challenge and were having fun with it. And it was either presenting your existing songs in a new way that then reached a new audience, or it was writing songs about baby cheaters that millions of people loved. Because it was specifically for that format.
100%. Yeah, I think it's just a space, and the cool thing about TikTok, it's kind of like, as any of these things, like algorithms change over time, and it kind of gets less like, you have like a moment where it's just like it's just giving you a load of it wants loads of people to use it, kind of thing. But still, like it's one of the few places where the main focus is about showing you something new. So rather than who you follow, it's like you might like this, and so that just as an idea, you might like this. It's like you could be placed somewhere and you might like this, and that's so it's just a place where you could do that. So it's kind of, it is a challenge in terms of in the first few seconds making it clear why someone might like this, which is a challenge. But then actually once you've got them, then they're going to probably stick around like and enjoy a thing, and that's cool. Like, yeah, I think the stuff that has gone the best has been stuff that I've just like, so there's a song about baby cheetahs, which is just basically the fact that baby cheetahs have evolved to look like honey badgers, because honey badgers are like badass, and it's safe to look like a honey badger because no one will attack them. Anyway, that's just a fact that I was going around sharing anyway. Like, so I thought I might as well try and turn it into a little song.
Can you play it for us as a bonus?
A little bonus.
Because it is that short and sweet.
It is that short and sweet. Sure, here it is. Baby cheetahs have evolved to look like honey badgers from an aerial point of view, so that eagles don't think baby cheetahs could be snacks, 'cause honey badgers are too vicious to be food. Eagle overhead, there's nothing to see here. just some regular honey badgers hanging out with that adult mum cheater. I mean friend. One day, baby cheater, you'll run so fast and nobody could catch you. But for today, please stay with your mum and keep looking like a honey badger.
Yeah, come on. I love it. But again, I think it's interesting the constraints that we have. When I started doing poetry slams, all of my poems ended up being 3 minutes long, just because that was how long I had to work with. And then when I started, with Ed starting to record the poems at these gigs, suddenly having these that I could put on. And again, that thing of you might like this, I found there were lots of people who would never have clicked to watch poetry by choice, but because it was shown to them and within 5 seconds I've made them cry on the toilet, they're more invested. But again, I found when I'm putting videos up thinking, actually, I don't know if someone's going to want to listen to me talking about my knees for 4 minutes, so I'm going to edit it down to it. And so that again feels like a different creative process. So you have this poem that is in one form on the page, is in one form on the stage, and then is on another form as a kind of supercut online for a video. And I think, again, trying to see that as a fun challenge rather than a sort of like exhausting, life-draining thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think is part of it. But yeah.
Well, I think it's about, like, for example, the fact that you've made these nights be part of the way that you can do that. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's not the only thing. So it needs to be part of some other things, and then it's suddenly, oh yeah, it's not. I'm not like putting too much into how this video does or this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Friday, the 21st of March was World Poetry Day, correct? Everyone's favourite. Last year for World Poetry Day, I was invited to go on to Craig Charles' show on Six Music, but they got the day wrong, and they invited me on the next day. But the day after that was like World Maths Day or something like that, and so I realised that there was one day in between World Poetry and World Maths Day, which I called World Harry Baker Day, because I sort of exist within that Venn diagram. And I made a whole, like, I tried to get it trending, it didn't quite happen, but some people dressed up as their favourite Harry Baker poems, which was a good time. And this year, I forgot World Poetry Day and therefore World Harry Baker Day. But do you know who didn't forget World Poetry Day? The library. And they were giving out lots of poems, and the library is sort of my new favourite place. We get to go with our son and just read books for free. Who knew that was a thing? And this was one of the poems that they had that I think is amazing. But it's quite thin, so I'm putting it against my book so that when this goes viral on TikTok, people will think that it's in my book and then buy my book. But it's called How It's Supposed to Happen by Kelly Grace Thomas. The dress never fits forever, honey. The paint of marriage peels or fades. Parents wilt into wildflower. It's true, the longer we love, the more we lose. Tender operas in tired bones, but still, coastline, just lit campfires, and oh, that first sip of Syrah. The way the needle bows to record. A child's curls catching the windy sun. Lately, I keep bumping into joy, like some old friend in the produce aisle. In stretched out yoga pants, we compare melons for sunspots, celebrating our wild, delicious sweat. These days, I tell her I can't get enough. Nothing is how it's supposed to happen. Isn't it lucky? I didn't get everything, so I could have this instead. Thank you. For your Something Borrowed, I'm going to give you my stool. Is that correct?
That's very kind of you.
Fantastic news. For Gecko's first Something Borrowed, we had Bare Necessities.
Nice.
For For second Something Borrowed, we had Labi Sifri.
Yeah, Must Be Love.
Must Be Love, come on. And for the third one, we're going to have a stool.
Yeah.
And who knows what else. I'm very excited, but I'm going to get out of the way for this.
So this is a song by a guy called Chris Wood, who is like a sort of UK folk singer. I was introduced to him. I went on a songwriting retreat last year, and Chris Difford from Squeeze was running it, which is pretty cool. And he introduced us all to this guy, Chris Wood, played us a song about a sofa that had like the whole room in tears. But I can't find this sofa song anywhere. I don't know if it actually happened. But anyway, check him out. This is a song that he wrote when his daughter went to uni. And it's called This Love Won't Let You Fail. And it goes like this. It's your very first top floor flat and all that. Your shower runs hot or too cold. The Hoover's broke and the wiring is toast. Must be 100 years old. Your mad landlady turned your waterworks on when she stole your birthday mail. Take it on the chin, my little darling. This love won't let you fail. This love won't let you fail. There's a job at the pub next door, but one. They said they need a bright young thing at the bar. So get up, little darling, and put some shoes on. Show them what a bright young thing you are. And 20 odd years ago, on a misty autumn morning, I knew this day would come. There's a postcard here in the window. It says, Hoover for sale. This love won't let you fail. Now you ride through the city at 4 a.m., living the life of the night. A little drunken text every now and again lets us know you're alright. You get to bed as the sun comes up. Your mom's worried you've been looking so pale. You're looking so pale. This love won't let you fail. There's a photograph of a tired little girl up on the downs with her dad, and she's flying their kite. She's all grown up now, but he's still there, and he's trying to let go with all of his might. Catch the wind now, darling, and run like hell, over hill and over dale. You'll be a speck on the horizon before long. This love won't let you fail. This love won't let you fail.
incredible. Stools, music stands, is there anything they can't be? Something blue. I like to sort of just end on the song, but I'll do mine and then I'll chat about yours because I know what it is, and then we can do your song. My something blue is about, I guess, blue skies and spring coming. 21st of March, obviously, first day of spring, as well as World Poetry Day. Thank you so much. And World Harry Baker Day Eve, as it's celebrated. But I felt it. I felt the start of spring, and I always feel it, and I love it. And I knew that it was spring because I had my first iced latte of the season, which is worthy of celebration, and made me think of this poem. So this was from day 21, and it's called Bottling It. I'm almost certain you are crying because you're hungry. I offer you the bottle. Now I'm 100% sure that you are crying because some chump has shoved a plastic teat into your mouth. I'm told it is best to offer it to you before you are distressed, which I am nailing. By which I mean every time I try to offer it, you become distressed immediately afterwards. I know you just want your mum, but we are trying to give her a break, and we will keep trying because what is the alternative? I do think that you would love it if you tried it. But people said the same to me about Dungeons and Dragons. Then I spent 3 hours role-playing, being frustrated on a walk, so I do also understand your hesitation. I vow to give it one last go before calling it a day, and either the angle or the lighting or the timing must have changed because you take it, and in that moment I am happier than the day that you were born. I am no longer a buffer zone delaying the inevitable. Now everything is possible. I have all the tools I need. I am the milkman. I am super dad. I am your sustenance provider. I messaged your mum to say she may also book a spa weekend. I can take it from here. We stay out for twice as long as ever before. You have not just given your mum a break, you have given your dad a breakthrough. I take you to the cafe for an iced latte to celebrate. Two perfectly contented, milky boys. The last time we performed together, I think, was Norwich.
Yeah.
So that was...
No.
Greenbelt. Come on. A little bit of Guanabana, a little bit of Greenbelt.
Yeah.
The time before that...
Sorry for being pedantic.
Hey, don't apologise for the truth, you know? But we played together in Norwich, and Gecko told me about this song that he was working on, that is on the new album, and that is relevant to the theme of blue. Yeah. And I'm excited to hear it. But are you up for telling the story as well as doing the song? I don't know what order you want to do it in.
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, it's probably better to tell the story first, I reckon.
Great.
So I was reading this book by a guy called Rutger Bregman called Humankind, and it's kind of like a kind of he's thinking about the kind of idea of humans being inherently bad and kind of looking into that in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways he did that, he kind of got obsessed with the book Lord of the Flies, which is a fictional book where school kids are deserted on an island and it all goes to shit. But he kind of wondered if that like, what had that ever actually happened? Had there ever been a situation where kids were on an island, and if so, what would have happened? And he went on a research mission, and he eventually found this true story from the 1960s about 6 boys aged 13 to 16 from Tonga who were just a bit bored, and so borrowed a boat and thought that they were going on an adventure. But they didn't really take much, and it was like a chilled evening, and they were like, "Oh, let's just go sleep and see what happens." And they woke up in a storm, and their boat got kind of annihilated, and then they just drifted for like 8 days, didn't have any food, were just drinking like rainwater, and eventually they saw land. It was a deserted island. They swam to it, and they were on that island for a very long time. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but they definitely didn't kill each other. They looked after each other. They got a fire burning. The fire stayed burning for the entirety of their time on the island. They had like a rota of doing the tasks together. They even made a guitar out of driftwood, and they like sang to each other in the evenings to kind of keep up morale. Anyway, I wrote this song about them, and it goes like this. Maybe I'll just stay sat down. It's quite nice. Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
We had a plan. The 6 of us were tired of living here, so we borrowed grumpy old Tiny Ella's boat and just disappeared. Yeah, we had a plan. We thought we could make it to Fiji or even New Zealand. No one saw 6 boys sneak out the harbour just after the setting sun. It was calm at sea, so we thought we could sleep. The storm broke and our anchor rope failed. Splashed away by crashing waves. Tried lifting the mast, but the wind ripped apart our sail. And I can't see what's in front of me, and I've never been so far away from home. And I can't see what's in front of me, and I've never been so far away from home. For 8 days we drifted away, no food, sharing rain from a coconut shell. 8 days I thought that we were done. 6 lost boys, all we had was each other and the setting sun. Then there was land. Summer, what strength that you can. Plunged into the water and swam for more than a day. Battered and sore, scrambled to shore. Now we've been stuck on this island for more than I can say. But we've got a plan. The 6 of us keep each other safe. We made a fire, it's never gonna die and we'll be the same. Yeah, we got a plan. We share the tasks, we even wrote this song. So we strum this guitar made of driftwood and wire to the setting sun. And I can't see what's in front of me, and I've never been so far away from home. And I can't see what's in front of me, and I've never been so far away. At night I look after the little ones. They're crying out for their moms. I could cry out for mine, but I know I gotta be strong. I thought that someone might save us, but it's taking too long. It's been hundreds of days now, and there isn't anyone. I can't believe what's in front of me. Can't believe my own eyes. Can't believe this is actually real. There's a shape in the distance, and it's not just the sun. 6 lost boys with long flowing locks are jumping ecstatically on a beach. Yeah, he's got a plan. The 6 of us are no longer alone. This Australian fisherman found us and he's taking us home. Yeah, he's got a plan. He radioed to tell our folks we're safe. They'd held our funerals, but now we're coming out of our graves. And it's just see this in front of me, but I know that we are finally coming home. Let's just see this in front of me, but I know that we are finally coming home.
Come on. So, Gecko, where can people find your new album?
You can find it on my Bandcamp. You can get a vinyl, geckoofficial.com. You find any links there, and it's on Spotify. It's called The Big Picture. Tonight, you can literally buy it over there.
Excellent work. And you're going on tour later this year?
Going on tour later this year.
Performing in Canterbury.
Yeah, in the main bit.
In the main bit. What is the main bit of Canterbury, everyone?
No, the main bit. The main bit.
Yeah, in the main bit in Canterbury.
It's you know, the tower, the like medieval tower that when you go to Canterbury, you're like, that's the main bit. In the tower.
In the tower.
Westgate Tower.
Westgate Tower, we know it. So details for that will be online as well.
Just follow the main bit and you'll find it.
Thank you so much for being here. Can we give it up one more time? Of course, for the fantastic Gecko. We will see you very soon. Get home safe. Much love. Thank you. Good night.
Something borrowed by Harry Baker. To all of my friends who are watching right now, thank you so much for being here. I'm in a good mood and you can't guarantee